Yeah, sorry about the technical delay, everybody there, but it's going to be so worth it. It's Eric Clapton Technique Tuesday, so we are talking about, well, how the heck does he do that? How does he make those tones? How does he create those awesome licks? And tonight I'm going to show you one way that will immediately make you sound like Eric Clapton. So let's not dilly anymore. Let's get right into it. And the most common thing that Clapton does to really create his signature sound, at least from what I can hear, is this pick, hammer-on, pull-off thing that I'm going to show you tonight. So I'm using the track Old Love to kind of give you the ideas of what's happening here, but he does this in all keys, in E or G or whatever he likes to play in. So you're going to need to be familiar with A minor pentatonic scale to be able to pull this off. So any intermediate guitar player or above should know how to do that. In the case that you don't, let me just kind of zoom in and just show you so that you know. So you're going to have okay, so that's going to be 5 8 5 7 5 7 5 7 5 8 5 8, and then you can always resolve back to the root right there. So to make it sound like Clapton, you got to do that, right? And it's just like immediate Clapton tone. So what you're going to do is hit the 8th fret of the B string, go back to the 5th fret of the B string, and do a quick hammer-on pull-off on 5 to 8B. Just like that, okay? So go ahead and take a minute and try that. I'll zoom in one more time and show you. Okay, I'm on the 5th of B, going to the 8th of B. Okay, you feeling that? So he does that lick a lot. And he follows it up with a whole bunch of other stuff like that I'm going to walk you through later. But if you just do that, if you just get into your licks, you're gonna have the Clapton solo style handled, right? Because other than that, it's just it's basically a lot of blues licks that just sound like, well, God. Just work on that, and we're gonna be cool. So I'm gonna put this track back on. Okay, it's in A minor, Old Love, and I'm gonna play a few versions of that, and you try and play a few versions of that. Okay, and I might do a little lead into it, and then maybe you do a lead into it and feel it out. But remember, the idea is to kind of get to that. Now there is a trick with the hammer on that I'll get into here in a second, but I want you to feel it out. So let's go with the track one more time. Hey Kenny, what's up? Okay, so you hear this keyboard part come in. I'm sure YouTube's gonna take this down. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so here we go. You try. What's up, John? Good evening. Now try it on the G. So 5 and 7 on the G. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna get into all that. Just worry about this first lick. Okay, how's that working out for you so far? So you want to put it into the flow of your solo, and it'll really start to rip, okay? Now let me fast forward into the track a little bit here so I can give you some audible examples of him doing it. Stand by while I find it. You can hear it right in here. Right, and so that's how he's making it sound faster than what it really is. So let me zoom in a little bit and show you how to handle that on the board. All right, so as we look a bit closer here, I want you to see my finger from this angle, because you'll see that when I do that pick, hammer on, I don't lift my finger any higher than where you see right here. So it's just above the string. Let me get it right a little bit more there. Just like that. So you have da 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 da. I don't go da 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 da. If you lift your finger up way too high like that, you're going to lose a lot of the power. So try and focus on keeping your finger close to the board as you're working through that. Okay, so when you walk through the progression, that'll start to sound very Clapton-esque. So I started on a root, just walked up the minor pentatonic scale, just like that. Go ahead and try that. Cool. All right, so let's try and take that lick, once you get it underneath your fingers, and try it with the track. How's everybody doing out there? Give me a shout out if you're out there. Thanks for John and Kendall for shouting out. Best you can. Yo, Rafi, good to see you again. Good job on that stairway solo today, dude. That was good. Go ahead and give it a try. Dude, I want to jam so bad with this. This is grooving. Yo, Ben, what's up, dude? Ben wrote this awesome song. You guys got to hear it. Now try and do the double right there. Like that. All right, here we go. Okay, so there we go in the opposite direction, right? So I'm hoping you have that down. Then you follow it up, top of the pentatonic pattern, right down here at the 8th fret of the E string, with a little bend and a stop, and then another hit of 8. So I hit 8 of E, bend, stop at the top, hit 8 E regular. I can do that hammer-on thing there, or come down to the B and do it again. So you have something along those lines, right? You kind of make it up as you go along. So it'd have. Okay, let's try that stuff along with the track. Okay, go ahead and give it a feel. See how you do. Something along those lines. Ready? Now the high part. Okay, so moving right along. Next Clapton technique that he would do, and this isn't just solely Clapton, but a lot of players, I think it's just cool to bring it up here because it is Technique Tuesday, is that muted rake into the notes. You can hear it right there. Let me back it up so you can really hear what I'm talking about. Listen to how he gets into the note. It's like he has this kind of muted shroud. You'll hear it in a second. It'll sound like that kind of thing. Check it out. Right there. Okay, listen to this next lick. Listen to the entry point. Right there. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, it's all about your right hand. Okay, so your right hand needs to be resting on the strings so that you can brush through it and then let go as soon as you get to the note. So if I have my hand here, right, and I'm going for that 8th fret of the B string, I keep my strumming hand really on the strings there and I push through aggressively until I get to that B string and then I let go like this. Now you see that my left hand grip here is really protecting all the other notes. My third finger is actually cheating up on the G so that it doesn't ring out, but it's really all about this hand digging in, pushing through until you get to that target. Right? I'm actually really going into the strings there. Watch my right hand. Okay, go ahead and try that a few times. I'll put the track back on. Go ahead and try it here. As many times as you can. Goodness me, that's so great. Okay, now let's try all three. Right here. Okay, pretty wildly cool, right? Now, if you're not getting it right away, it's okay. You know, you'll get there. It's an advanced technique. But again, I want to reiterate that if you keep your fingers low to the board, you'll be able to build the speed that way. And if you don't have the dexterity to do this quite yet, that's okay. Just you want to work on some just basic exercises of just going, just even something as simple as that, just going back and forth in your pentatonic scale, keeping your fingers close to the board. Right? And just working under synchronization. That's the kind of stuff you can do to help get this lick. But, you know, at its core, now the muted rake, that's a little bit more challenging to do because you do have to keep your right hand like really aggressively into the strings, like really pushing into the strings. Like that. But again, you'll get there. Okay, so the next Clapton thing I wanted to talk about, and this will be the final thing here tonight, will be the way that he ends his phrases. And there's always one more note than you think there's going to be. So I did a bunch of analysis. I actually tried to bring in some video into this session to see if it would work, but you know, we haven't gotten there yet. I'm not that technically proficient yet. But he always ends his phrases with one more note. So let me show you. You'd have, right? You could end there, but he would end on that note, like this. Just that little extra pop. And there's nothing fancy about what's going on. I mean, it's minor pentatonic, right? So again, you'd have just a little bit at the end makes it awesome. And you can do it all over the pentatonic scale. Just something like that. All I did was just do a little pull off. So let's go ahead and try that along with that intro track again. Remember, we're just trying to add one more extra little note that we hit aggressively So it really makes a statement. Right? He's really putting a explanation point at the end, exclamation mark, at the end of the phrase. Okay, so here we go. Appreciate that, Jay. It is super tasty. Okay, so what we're going for? Something like that. Let's have you give it a try. Right there again. Right, so remember to do that rake. Here we go. One more extra note. You can do it. Right there at the end. There again. Okay, play in between the lyrics. Here. Ready? Here. Take the pre-chorus off here. So let's try and go that back and forth stuff, right? Like call and response. He gives the lyric, you give the lick. Try and incorporate at least one of the three things we talked about, which is that repeated hammer-on pull-off, a rake in, or an extra note at the end of your phrase. Okay, so let's wait for it in the chorus. Here we go. Right here. Let go of your pick grip a little bit. That's how you get that dynamic range. What do you got? Come on.
I can see your face.
Call and response.
It ain't real. Just stand up.
Rake this time. Okay, that little. Here we go. Take a break. Let's hit one more chorus before we get out of here. One of the three techniques, remember. One of the three techniques. That thing, a rake in, meter rake in, or a finishing note, one more than you're used to. Here we go. Ready? Now the rake. Come on, Jay, I know you can do that. Now the double hammer on. Again.
Just go home.
You just listen to that. Oh my God. Oh. No. That's so incredibly good. Remember I told you, man, I saw Clapton live a few years ago, and it was mind-blowing. I like, it was like his guitar was singing. It was amazing. If you ever get a chance, go see Eric Clapton. Probably, like, besides Jeff Beck, he's the best guitar player I've ever seen. Anyhow, so those are the three technique tips for how to sound like Eric Clapton. You can review this video a bunch of times so you get the idea. But one more time, it's that kind of trick right there. That's instant Clapton. You do that, done. Instant Clapton. Number 2 is going to be that rake into the note. That kind of thing. And the final thing that he does very often is finish off the phrases with an extra note. So, and a little bit more pop. Now, how do you get that little bit more pop? You grip a little bit harder. You can do the opposite of that to try and get dynamic range by letting go of your pick. Like that, but you hear at the end, I give that little pop. So hopefully you got some value out of this. Tomorrow we're going to apply all this stuff in the Clapton style jam. We'll be doing I Shot the Sheriff. I'm sure we'll be doing this, Old Love, and then we'll probably be doing Cocaine as well. So just try and get these licks underneath your fingers over the next hour or so. And it's all minor pentatonic, right? Just do what you're capable of. It's nothing too crazy. Just try and get at least one of those 3 techniques in. We're going to apply them tomorrow. Just shoot me a message if you have any questions on how to do it. But, man, this is fun. Clapton's killing it, man. He's so good. All right, you guys take care, and I'll see you tomorrow night for the jam session.